Welcome into 9 News at noon. Erica Lopez here. Former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters was sentenced in Grand Junction this morning on her obstruction charges, but she is not facing jail time. Peters was sentenced to 4 months of house arrest and has to perform 120 hours of community service within 1 year. She was convicted by a Mesa County jury in March for refusing to turn an iPad over to authorities that she allegedly used to record a court hearing despite a judge's orders. She is also facing felony charges for election tampering. That case is scheduled to go to trial in October. Police in Louisville, Kentucky have confirmed 4 people were killed in a shooting. 8 others were taken to the hospital. 2 right now in critical condition. One of those is a police officer. Calls of an active shooter and shots fired at the Old National Bank downtown came in around 8:30 this morning. Police confirmed the suspect was dead on the scene and believe he was a previous bank employee, but say they don't know the circumstances of the shooter's death. It took a year for friends and family of a missing man to find out what happened to him. Police found Carl Beeman's body in an apartment crawl space in Aurora last week, covered in concrete. 9 News reporter Darius Johnson says his friends and family are now grieving this loss.
Yeah, right now family and friends are trying to get Carl Beeman's body back to Arizona so he can have a proper burial. All of this comes after he's been gone for nearly a year. According to an arrest affidavit, Haskell Crawford killed Carl Beeman and left him in his ex-girlfriend Cassie Bach's apartment, then threatened her if she didn't hide the body. The document says just a couple of weeks ago, Bach got high and told a neighbor, who then alerted police. Ryan Wolf and Carl Beeman met as co-workers in Arizona and remained friends for more than a decade. He says Carl was kind, genuine, smart, loved to sing and read. He says Carl was loyal to all, and his loyalty is what sent him to Colorado to help out someone he called a friend. After Beeman went missing last April, Wolf's wife created a Facebook page. That's where they received a tip from a neighbor that Beeman's body was hidden in the crawl space under Bach's apartment.
It's a lot of bad people that do bad things in this world that deserve bad things. He was not one of them. He deserved nothing but the best. And he could have brought so much more greatness and love to this world in the decades and decades he should have had.
Cassie Bach is accused of accessory to homicide. Her boyfriend, Haskell Crawford, is accused of first-degree murder. Right now, Crawford is currently being housed in the Jefferson County Jail. He's in custody for an unrelated crime. He will have the charges formally read to him, next week. Bach will have those charges read to her tomorrow morning. At the Aurora Police Department this afternoon, I'm Darius Johnson.
Thank you. Kids at Denver's East High School are back to class more than 2 weeks after a shooting inside the school that hurt 2 administrators. Parents, though, are not happy with the school district's answers about safety on campus. Parents, teachers, and students are asking the school to create a safety plan. Several questions submitted at last week's community meeting were about existing safety plans, like searching students for weapons. DPS says an email to parents over the weekend saying the district strives to provide the best educational opportunities for every student, but some parents are saying that's just not enough.
I'm looking for them to reevaluate that policy, and the fact that they're not willing to reevaluate that policy makes me question their overall security posture and whether they are really taking things seriously.
The school board has directed the superintendent to do a security review, which will be presented to the board in June. Police and fire departments in Boulder have a new way to see 911 calls as they're happening. They're adding a new service that lets callers live stream what they're seeing to dispatchers. The service is pretty simple and it's free for callers. Dispatchers will be able to send a link to a cell phone. After giving approval, dispatch can switch between the front and back camera, as well as turn the screen black so that no one can see it is recording. Dispatchers will not be able to see or do anything else on a person's phone. The city hopes it becomes a helpful tool for reporting domestic violence, wildfires, and ongoing crimes. Jefferson County Sheriff reports an officer-involved shooting in the area of West Bowles Avenue and South Pierce. They say that suspect is being treated on scene and that no officers were injured. Police say schools in the area are secure and there was no involvement with any schools. We'll, of course, bring you more updates on that as soon as we learn them. And now we want to get a check on your forecast. Ooh, check out that beautiful live look. I do like seeing the snow-capped mountains, especially when it's not cold for us here.
It's the best of both worlds, right?
It is the best of both worlds. Greg Perez with us at noon on your Monday, and you've got good news for us, at least for the next few days.
Yeah, through Thursday.
We'll take it.
We've got really good news through Thursday. Of course, we have red flag warnings and fire weather watches to talk about for the Eastern Plains. But if you're in the Denver metro area, get ready for some warm, if not hot conditions over the next 72 hours. Let's take you outside one more time, just because it is so nice out there. Nothing but clear skies and relatively comfortable conditions right now. Temperatures out the door in the 60s. The clear skies also being shown by the HD Doppler radar. Actually nearing 70 degrees right now in the Denver metro region. A few 70-degree readings as you're getting into Trinidad and Springfield. The 40s and 50s sprinkled in as you're getting into the high country. Buena Vista, not too bad. Upper 50s and lower 60s. We'll do 76 and sunny today. That's the name of the game. Wind's not too bad either. Coming out of the east, anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Warm and calm. It can't really complain with that. Overnight low temperatures dropping down into the 40s. But as I said, not only do we have some nicer conditions on the way, but big changes coming on Friday and Saturday. Details in just a few moments.
Greg, thank you so much. At this hour, we are keeping an eye on a couple fires that are still smoldering in Colorado. Firefighters in the southern part of our state are working on a fire along both sides of the Arkansas River. It's near Pueblo Community College. As of last night, no buildings were threatened and a line was secured to stop any growth. Crews working the 403 fire say that it's 76% contained and they are still putting out hotspots. Some neighborhoods are still under pre-evacuation orders in case things flare up again. Some Colorado lawmakers are worried about higher wildfire risk in the future and whether insurance companies would want to cover homes. They're proposing bare bones last resort coverage offered by the state for families who can't get it anywhere else. Other states have similar state-run programs which are expensive and don't offer much coverage, but they're better than nothing. 3 Democratic state lawmakers introduced a bill that would create a similar safety net here. It would be managed by a nonprofit and funded in part by existing insurance companies. A package of Democrat-backed bills strengthening abortion rights in the state is waiting for the governor's signature. The bills passed last week, mostly along party lines. Senate Bill 190 would set restrictions on how anti-abortion centers can advertise their services. SB 189 would expand insurance coverage for abortions, and SB 188 protects abortion patients and providers in Colorado from out-of-state legal threats for abortion services that are legal here. Now, if the governor signs them, all bills would take effect immediately. Coming up, the Colfax Marathon now has an iconic Colorado sponsor. Also ahead, a school program meant to help meet the needs of students is hanging in the balance of today's vote.